In the global shipping industry, the career path usually follows a familiar script. You spend decades at sea, navigating crushing waves and physical isolation, all to earn the ultimate prize, a desk job. The shore-based office is pitched as the well-deserved reward. It promises air conditioning, a predictable 9-to-5 schedule, and a comfortable distance from the immediate physical hazards of the ocean. But talk to a veteran maritime superintendent today, someone with 12 years at sea and 20 ashore, and you'll find a daily reality that looks nothing like the brochure. 20 years ago, the only question occupying their mind was, is the ship safe? Today, that singular focus has been replaced by a sprawling committee of operational, commercial, insurable, and reportable anxieties. The comfortable shore job disappeared, and it wasn't deteriorating ships or harsher seas that dismantled it. It was the introduction of the very tools designed to make shipping perfect: constant data and total connectivity. This is a look at a traditional shore-based shipping office. For decades, fleet management operated in distinct analog intervals. Updates came via telex or a daily phone call. Between those updates, a clear boundary existed separating the ship from the office. Then came the digital transition. Maritime operations shifted to continuous tracking, where every valve, sensor, and engine metric broadcasts a persistent, unyielding stream of real-time data back to the desk. This 24/7 visibility birthed a completely new operational priority. Shore staff now have to weigh every mechanical quirk against a distinctly modern fear. Will this look bad on a dashboard? Giving shore teams continuous visibility of a vessel did not eliminate the unknown. Instead, it created an environment where we have more information than ever before, and somehow less certainty than we've ever had. Rather than navigating physical ships, modern shore teams spend their days navigating the relentless perceptions and expectations of real-time data. Consider the mechanics of a single, minor anomaly in this hyper-connected system. A vessel is 2 hours late submitting its routine noon report. This modern vessel traffic management interface immediately registers the missing noon report, pushing automated flags across the global tracking networks. Those flags instantly flood the superintendent's dashboard. A single delayed report triggers a cascade of warnings, requiring immediate explanation. Then the human fallout begins. The dashboard alerts prompt charterers to start sending emails at midnight. WhatsApp groups light up with demands for clarification, completely indifferent to the fact that it's 3 a.m. where the superintendent lives. Connectivity dictates a harsh new rule. Because the data exists, someone is expected to be aware of it. Ignorance is gone, and professional silence is no longer an acceptable response. The job has morphed. Shore staff are no longer managing a fleet of 22-person vessels. They are managing the endless, exhausting expectations generated by the dashboard. The global maritime industry has built massive regulatory frameworks to measure and prevent the physical exhaustion of seafarers, yet it barely acknowledges the intense psychological toll absorbed by the people working ashore. This chart illustrates how shoreside fatigue operates. While physical fatigue remains flat, the psychological strain breaks down into 3 distinct components: decision fatigue, alert fatigue, and accountability fatigue. These metrics don't reset at the end of a shift. They compound continuously over a 24-hour cycle. The lines keep climbing through sleep schedules, pushing right across weekends and holidays without pausing. A desk worker absorbs the anxiety of every delayed arrival, every system glitch, and every unseen incident. And because the ship is always moving, there is no physical mechanism to disconnect. We've meticulously regulated the physical burnout of standing a watch, while entirely ignoring the psychological burnout caused by staring at a screen. As 30-year industry veterans begin to retire, the sector faces a different kind of vulnerability. Their departure means a permanent loss of deep institutional knowledge. You can't code that kind of experience into an algorithm. Software cannot replicate the human intuition required to know when commercial pressure on a captain is too high, or when an aggressive system alert is actually just background noise. Over the last 2 decades, the industry poured billions into building spectacular data collection dashboards, but completely forgot to capture the human context required to actually read them. We are left with a global supply chain that generates endless mountains of data, but lacks the human wisdom to interpret it, leaving the whole system inherently fragile. Look at the reality of the job from the ship's perspective. A master stands on the dark bridge, carrying the ultimate responsibility for the vessel and crew, often making critical, split-second decisions with terrifyingly imperfect information. Compare that to the superintendent sitting ashore. They carried that extreme weight of responsibility for the vessel, but they are paralyzed by the opposite problem: far too much information. Despite their completely different environments, the physical hazards of the sea versus the sterile glare of an office, both professionals are exhausted. They are holding the exact same line, just from different ends. The solution to modern burnout won't be found in sharper performance indicators or faster tracking software. It requires the human restraint to look at a dashboard, identify the noise, and decide that it can wait.